Welcome to another episode of What's New, Newark. I'm your host, Sienna Chanel. The Office of Sustainability begins this year's Love Your Block Beautification Grant Program.
The City of Newark's Love Your Block mini grant program is now accepting requests for proposals just in time for this Valentine's Day season.
We encourage all residents who would like to lead in the fight against blight in their neighborhood to apply for a grant for up to $5,000.
Eligible projects include green spaces,
Community cleanups,
vacant lot activation,
and minor exterior home improvements.
You can apply directly online at the City of Newark's Love Your Block website at newarknj.gov/loveyourblock, or with a paper copy from the Office of Sustainability located inside City Hall, room B12.
Requests for proposals will be open from February 14th until March 20th, 2020.
All grant recipients will be announced after final approval from the Municipal Council. All projects must be completed between May and July 2020, that's 3 months.
Once your project is complete, you will be required to submit a final report so you can receive credit.
Love your block, help it to pop, submit your proposal today.
New Jersey Citizen Action kicked off the 2020 tax season by providing free tax services.
And I want to welcome you all to Citizen Action's Economic Security Office.
We all know that we look forward to filing a return and getting a refund. What is so important about this service that Citizen Action provides to people for free is that sometimes you don't know some of the things that you are eligible for in filing your taxes.
The work that's being done here, not only preparing people and getting them to understand how to file your taxes, the importance of it, but actually doing a tax preparation for you, that's huge. And then helping them figure out the earned income tax credit, which is what I am supremely focused on, because I believe we should be expanding the earned income tax credit. I think more people should get earned income tax credit, and I think it should be more money. That's a whole nother discussion, but I think Citizen Action is with me on that too.
Mayor Baraka gives the keynote speech at Essex County College's annual Garvey Nkrumah lecture series.
Today we are holding our 9th annual Garvey Nkrumah lecture series program. This lecture series has placed a bright spotlight on Black history, both in this month and throughout the year.
Because the whole point of us having the Garvey Nkrumah lecture series is not for us to sit up here and just hear a lecture. It is for us to find out ways for us to engage in the world in which we live, for us to find out a way to transform the world in which we live. We know this world is plagued with all kinds of problems, but it's up to you, up to us, to change that world.
And so allow this Black History Month, if it has not already, if it has not done so for you years before, be a launch pad for you to begin to study, to deeply, deeply study the conditions that you are in your people. We're the only ones who came here against our will, that never came looking for employment. We didn't come looking for religious freedom. We wasn't running from persecution. We didn't think the streets were paved with gold. We had no papers. We were in the bottom of slave ships. Our collective poverty is a direct result of our enslavement and everything that came after it, from Plessy versus Ferguson to redlining. Where did the breakdown, where did the linkage, what mistake did we make not to pass this information down from generation to generation, so our kids are not talking about why are we talking about slavery, but say, as other folks say, we will never forget. We have to educate ourselves. There's the pathway to liberation is through education. We study this to gather understanding, to build a roadmap so we are not marching in circles or going backwards, but moving forward, as Nkrumah said, forward ever, backward never.
Mayor Baraka held a citywide men's breakfast with over 3,000 attendees.
Hold the line.
Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. I know some of y'all sitting there like, what they talking about? It's y'all first time coming to a men's event. You don't know what hold the line means. Hold the line is serious, y'all. It means when times get rough, we hold on to each other. When the enemy comes at us, we don't buckle. We don't fold. We don't point fingers. We don't hide under tables. We don't turn around and run. We grab our brother and we hold the line.
Our goal primarily is three major things. We want to increase home ownership. We want to increase the number of businesses that exist in Newark. We also want to spur on community participation. And we want to educate people and give them the opportunity to build generational wealth right here in Newark, New Jersey.
The mayor and his initiative to support me in becoming one of the largest women minority businesses as a construction company in the world. And I can see it happening with the soldiers that are in this room. All I see are strong men that are supportive.
Listen, the city buys lumber. Who got a lumber yard? The city buys paper. Who has a paper company? The city buys ink. Who's selling us ink? The city buys pens. Who's selling us pens? The city buys cups, mugs. Who's selling us the mugs? We buy food. Who catering the food for us? We buy shirts. We buy uniforms. We wash clothes. When are you going to give us these resources? We can pay you to take care of your town. Hold the line. 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 And all you developers, all these construction sites in the city, if you don't hire Newark residents, we come into your construction site, and all of these people you see, we're going to stand out in front and hold the line until we get on that construction site. Hold that line.
Newark seniors teach us lessons from African American history.
So one day we came to the station. My father used to take us to Penn Station, and the motormen, the conductors, and whoever was in charge of the trains, the long-distance trains, took us down south. So what happened was they took us down south and gave us to our uncle when we would reach Columbia. And at this particular time, the uncle wasn't there. He was late. We were looking all around. There wasn't any station for us to sit in. We had to sit out on the platform in the sun and wait for him. I was hot. So a little girl, I'm fresh. I want some water. So I got up looking for the water fountain because I thought I saw one on the side. I saw the sign that said colored water fountain. And I had no idea what color was the water. So I got up to go and see. And the porter that was cleaning the station said, hey, you can't drink that water. That's the white water fountain. You have to go around the back to the colored water fountain. I was stunned because I don't know what color is the water. No. I took my fresh self, they used to call me Little Freshie, around the back looking for the colored water. There was a faucet sticking out the wall. Flies were all around. The smell of urine, which I know I wouldn't drink anything from there. And it said on the thing, colored water.
I don't know. I didn't like interracial or felt as though that there were blacks against white. We had that, but the way they show it in movies and stuff now, I didn't take it as that because I had people of color, blacks, white, Asians, that were my friends. And we grew up together. So I remember, my mom's not eating and always feeding us and we didn't have enough. But then when we got older, I did a little babysitting job and stuff like that. And my sister was up here in New Jersey and she said to my father, she said, if you want to live a good life, come to New Jersey. And she said, and it's going to be better for you. And that's what we did. I just wish our young people would stop killing one another, because nobody has a corner. This corner is not your corner. You have people that pay taxes that live on that block. If anybody's corner, it's their corner. It's not your corner.
There were no promises. I knew nothing about New Jersey, coming from Oxford, North Carolina, a little town that only had one traffic light, two-story building, and I was born there in 1938, so therefore I lived through the segregation where we had a colored bus station, colored and white water fountains. You could not drink water out of the white fountain, nor could you use the restrooms. If you wanted to buy something, you had to go to the back of the store, and there was a little window, and you would order your food. When the rebellion started in Newark, I was an employee of Greystone Hospital, and I had a rough time getting home because I was working, and then as I was coming home, that's when you saw everything was going on, and I guess it was the National Guard was on my street. I had moved to Hunterdon Street, and it was very scary. Well, at that time, I thought things were worse because we were destroying our own neighborhood. We were burning the stores in our neighborhood, although they didn't belong to us, but it made it difficult for a while to get your groceries or to go shopping, because I was right at Clinton. I think they called it Clinton Hill back in the day, right off of Clinton Avenue. But then eventually things did change, I think, for the better, because New Jersey Bell opened up, and I was able to get a job at New Jersey Bell. Then things began to get much better for me and my family. I see Newark as a great place to live, a great place to raise your children, and I think our mayor, Ras Baraka, is doing an excellent job. The opportunities are here for all of us, for all races. If you embrace it, if you want it, reach out and get it.
This has been another episode of What's New, Newark. I'm your host, Sienna Chanel.